I'm back with you. Talked to a nice young man, Paul from Canada. Going to get his life together there. Pretty good on the raw. Eagle's Heart. Thanks for the comment about the guy. I just read it real quick about the guy that made these nasty comments about I lied about my biochemistry degree. I tell you what, sometimes I do get unsettled after the years, because you're called every name in the book through the years. I've had medical doctors call me everything from quack to charlatan to all kinds of things, we keep healing them up. The joke's on them, it's funny about that. But I think I avoided your question. I'm not sure. You had a lot of iron, higher than allowable limit, sulfuric acid, hard lesson learned. Well, you know what? I've had a lot of those hard lessons learned. Luckily, I was smart because I realized the fallacy of this biochemistry because everybody's different in what they believe, depending on what school and all this stuff. And a lot of things are still in the theory category. So I really kind of gave all that kind of thinking up a little bit, because you're always going to look through things through a little chemistry and a little physics. That's just the nature of the beast. So, but anyway, you definitely want to detoxify. In your case where you've had so much of this, I'd definitely pop up on the high greens, cilantro, parsley. I'd really get into the fruits and grapes. They had a lot of buffering agents to them too. Get my lymphs moving, because your blood's going to dump into your lymph, and they're just going to hold all those metals and going to burn you right there. So you guys want to move your lymph, and my God, and just detox your body out. I know there's some people with some heavy duty toxicity that, they really feel it when they're leaving them. So that's why you can buffer them with some green drinks, keep improving on the fruit and stuff. And I think the herbs have a lot of good buffering agents. When you watch people that do detoxify without the herbs, man, they just seem to be really, they don't have near the easy way to go. The herbs are, I just can't say enough good things about them. And I do appreciate your comments there. I want, there was another comment where medical doctors were talking about double-blind studies and things, and it's like, you could just read how lost they were. I mean, when you stick up someone with MS that wasn't walking and now they're walking, could you show me how you did that? That's what I think. Could you show me how you did that? I'd like to know, because that's what's key. The key is, what can you do on your clients? That's why I don't want you guys to sweat this idea about having all these stupid degrees and things, because then you have people like this who try to tear you down even though you worked hard for them, schools go in and out, let me tell you. Naturopathic schools in particular, But it doesn't mean they turn out good people. Or good students, It's all about the student. I like self-taught people a lot. They know more. They're more rounded. I like to say that I'm balanced between going to school and self-taught. I've done two things. I've learned a little in school. I've learned mostly through you guys, through the years and all the people, and just the desire to get people well. The driving force behind learning and growing is a desire to see someone well. And you'll work that and work them to see what works and what doesn't work, Kind of guinea pigs, kind of a way. Yeah, sovereign citizen. I'll be with you on that soon. It's just that I've got so many of these health questions, Citron, but you wanting to create a land where there is no corporate greed or no, it's constitutional. We don't have a constitutional government. They created a corporation, and so they're using this concept of U.S. citizens as kind of the members, if you will. So it's all screwed up, Someday we'll sit down and we'll do a video on that. But warning, could get graphic. I might come down off of my nowness. Hard not to sometimes, The creation at war with itself, the ever expanding, growing. I studied the Illuminati my whole adult life, 19 years. Good work, Daniel. Yeah, Skip, you got good stuff behind you, bro. Good stuff. And it does, it does, you said this well. Really said well, you know. Contaminates, especially the darker stuff. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I rode with you on this. I tell you, I got so angry that it really discentered me because I really got angry when I realized that federal judges were corrupt. That was really the turning point of how corrupt is when our judicial system falls. And we do not have any rule of law in our land anymore. It's whatever a judge wants it to be, really. It's who holds the power in the courtroom. It's not even funny. There's some good, honest judges out there. Don't kid me. I like Fox's Judge Napolitano. I think that judge should be president. I don't know why Judge Napolitano isn't running for president. He is one smart judge. He's good. He's constitutional. He's for the rights of the people. He's one smacking good judge. He should. You should have to qualify under him to become a federal judge. Yeah, it took a while. It took me too. Thanks for the comment, Daniel. I mean, it really. Double raw star here. You're talking about, oh, this was a good question. This was, does raw bovine colostrum clog the lymph system like raw milk, cheese, butter, etc.? Or does raw bovine colostrum have thousands of studies done on it reporting benefits to the immune system? It increases neurotransmitters, helps with depression, kills intestinal parasites, contains all essential sugars, fatty acids, and amino acids, increases lean body mass, and reduces body fat. Is 3 times as effective against swine flu than the vaccine itself. Sounds like a miracle cure to me. Well, I've had several cases where, of course, we get tons of tumors here. I remember this one lady, she was an Amish lady, huge tumor on the side of her chest wall. And she had taken shark cartilage for a while, which was the in thing. But what shark cartilage ended up doing was making the tumor grow to her bone. Well, she had been down to Contreras Clinic for a few times, and with the Laetrile to try to, I sent her there once to try to do some Laetrile treatments to break this off. Because we were having a hard time getting this tumor to come out. We used the black salve a little bit, but she had such a large hole, and we were trying to pull it out. And she had been on colostrum, and the tumor growed. And I said, no, don't do the colostrum. It'll make your tumors grow. So she wouldn't, we had it closed probably a third in about 3 or 4 months. This is a big deal. And a lot of acid just chewing down on tissue, of course. So she ended up leaving me, and she went to a nutritionist up the way in St. Pete. The nutritionist gave her colostrum. And she called me and said, my tumor's getting really big now. And she told me the colostrum story. And I said, I told you not to do that. And so she didn't believe me. Now she believes me about colostrum. Colostrum is only a short-term fix for kids. You only get it a short period of time. I disagree with all of that. We're adults, by the way. For kids, I think it's a great immune enhancer. It's a great setup there in certain ways. But after age 2, chemistry changes in the human body. Enzymes change. As you know, lactase seems to disappear except for a few Brits. So my thoughts aren't a good one on colostrum either. I mean, you can take it if you want, but as you see, it's the next miracle cure. It always is when you're selling products. But I find that you've got to make your cells healthy. There's no way around that. There's not one antidote or one herb that'll do all this. And for an adult, I've never seen it on children in terms of lymph, but in adults, how would you get raw colostrum? It would have to be raw, and it wouldn't be a cow's colostrum. You wouldn't want to do a cow's colostrum as a Homo sapien. You would want to do Homo sapien colostrum. So the idea of getting colostrum in some type of processed form, thinking it's going to do all these things, you see what I'm saying? A lot of times in the raw form, some lab work might show something, but I've only seen it compromise the lymph system. Now, I have lost about 10 kilos. Again, 50% of this was lean tissue and 50% fat. I am now slim. It feels like I have lost muscle and I don't feel toned. Do you have any suggestions, Helen? Helen, yeah, I mean, that's part of detox. Unfortunately, you can take a bite. I've talked about this before. A bodybuilder can come in here. Now, I used to pump iron all the time. As a youth, I used to try to build up my big chest and big arms, and I worked out, and the Wilder people and stuff. And Jack LaLanne was really hot when I was a teenager. But I soon gave it up, and then things kind of got a little flabby. But when you start to detoxify, those tissue, and I just had a girl come into the counter out here in the pharmacy, and she started on raw, and she popped a fingernail or two. But she said, what's growing in is so much stronger and smoother than what I had. Because that's what happens. You're going to lose hair, nails. You could, especially if you jump from a standard American diet right into this most powerful, energetic, nutritional diet on the planet. You're like going from hell to heaven. What a shock. And your body, it starts going, okay, I'll get rid of all these weak things, weak cells, so I can rebuild new cells, and that's what happens. You will see a certain amount of tear down. It's standard issue. Now, that really is, I mean, you have to look at two things to get some idea of how much you could break down, and that is malabsorption and are you digesting your foods properly, pancreatic liver. So if you're not digesting your foods properly, and especially if you're not absorbing your foods properly, you could get thinner than you like. And it's just malabsorption. It's not anything more than that. You're not absorbing your nutrition, and you only had fat on you and what you thought was a little muscle. So you might see yourself go down, but you're going to come back. You're fixing your body. Your body's repairing itself. Your body's doing all this for you. You don't have to worry about a thing. That's why I say, just get yourself focused, keep it simple, turn on the car, eat your fruits and veggies, especially your fruits, berries, and melons, take a few herbs, that's turning on the car, and then just sit and enjoy the now. And your car will drive you down the road and take care of itself. Is that cool? I didn't even have to go to school for that. How about that? So, hang in there, Helen. Doing a good job. How do you clean the emotions out? Good question, Daniel. Good man. Oh, boy, I tell you what, this is, it's going to, your emotions are always going to come out in this level of detox. I've even seen it with me. You see it with a lot of people. They just want to just sit down and cry. Well, good. Sit down and have a big cry. Just get it all out, Sometimes images come around from the past and stuff. Just let it all go. Give everything love. Don't hold on to nothing. You don't want any thoughts. You don't want to play in the causal storage room. You don't want all those things. You don't want the mind and its levels bothering you, because it interferes with your joy and your ability to enjoy the moment and the ecstasy of the now, where there is no time. And so, yeah, let all that clean out. You can work on your adrenals a little more aggressively. It'll clean out faster. I think really stop for a minute and lose the desire state a minute. Just develop a state of enjoyment of the moment and don't desire. And when you desire, then your emotions have to come in and push the desire, push the thought. Emotions are a pusher of thoughts. And so you just kind of get away from that whole thinking, emotionalism, desire bed, and know that you have everything you need. You have yourself, and no one can hurt you. No one can touch that part of yourselves. Sticks and stones. And know that you have everything you need. You have yourself, and no one can hurt you. No one can touch that part of yourselves. Sticks and stones, It's like this guy about making a false statement. Sticks and stones, if it wasn't some people we know who probably, we think we know who that is. But Daniel, good man. Is that a bald head I see? You need to get hair on that head, son. Now, let me see what we got here. From Annie, thank you a lot. I got a buzz reading your buzz. You're good. You're good, sweetheart. Really, I got a buzz reading your buzz. Yeah, fruits and vegetables are a buzz. Life is a buzz if you let all the crap go, let all these obstructions go. Here's one. I want to say. I act like Dr. Morse when I see my psychiatrist. It's incredible how cruel this people are to me. Court wants to force me to take meds. I committed crime because I wanted them to know how stupid they are with the vaccines and mercury fillings, and no one cares about that. Yeah, man, I tell you what, M.O., you're at odds, man. Yeah. There's always a desire when you touch truth that you go, oh, look at this. Your excitement and joy. Just hey, look what especially with your friends. And especially when you see a constipation in society that in some way swings back and affects your life, obviously. Because we're bumping on each other's worlds here. It's not like you are just experiencing your world, but we have these bumper cars. We bump into everybody else's worlds as well here. And so you just have to not care, man. Be a Johnny Appleseed and let all that go, because it's really, it can be disrupting to the id, but you have to let the id and everything go. It doesn't matter, because they'll trap you in their games to the point where they lock you away, bro. And you just can't, you got to get your sanity back and get yourself centered and take care of yourself. If someone wants to know what you're doing or you feel the need you've got to share here, give them a business card and say, you want me to talk with you someday about your health issues? Be glad to. Sometimes when you talk, people just don't want to hear you. Thank God people like to hear me talk sometimes, because sometimes I was like, I'm talked out. But have fun with this and don't carry it too deep, man. This is going on and there's nothing you can do. I mean, you're at a very low level of creation, obviously. A lot of you beautiful souls on this channel are so aware. But you just have to realize that now you're awakened. You realize that you're not of this world. You're just here as a visitor. Well, what are you here for? Are you here to just have fun and play, or are you here to give forth some knowledge and wisdom? Because at a certain point, you all have learned now. You've all been through here. Look at Lion Man, Steve. You all are great. You understand things. So now we're here as the light givers. And if people don't want the light, okay. I don't care. Because, you're not going anywhere. So take care of yourself. Don't get too mad. Let it all go. And you'll be okay. Just let it all go and enjoy the moment. And get your metals out. Protect yourself, Protect yourself. Clean your liver out, and get the anger out of you, and you'll be okay, man. Don't because these guys are lost in their world. They don't know how to treat anybody right. They don't know how to get the body healthy. They don't know. And if you're working on get your body healthy, you take care of yourself, man. Raven, I love you too, sweetheart. Thank you very much, you sweet thing. 303. Great work here, man. Butcher's Broom. See, you did a good job. See, look at 303. Kicking ass. I mean, love that. Look at that. You made yourself a brew here. I love that. Dab the castor oil on the eyes. You cleaned your eyes up. Yeah. I mean, the beauty of herbs. 303, man. You get 5 gold stars today. Man, great work, 303. Good work. Overall, sulfate is a form of sulfur. Yeah, I mean, sulfate, see, all these compounds that come together, anything that has sulfur in it that is a predominant sulfate, Man, I just don't use them. You're always going to get sulfur when you eat things, but in the minor levels. I think sulfurs are well overrated. You know, they're definitely offensive in their odors. I think that's a good example. Get away. I don't know. JG, you said it, man. If you want to spend your hard-earned dollars on these secret elixirs, I'm not familiar with this gentleman, but I catch the drift here. On the colostrum and other stuff, I get the drift. It's amazing how some one thing is the elixir that cures everything. That's always a good sales pitch. But I've never found anything beneficial with it. I stopped and asked at a health fair once a company that was making colostrum, and they thought it was a cat's meow. But I've had several occasions where it only made the tumors grow, and one witnessed it. And it's like, no, that means it's lymphatically compromising. And so that didn't work. So I've never had anything good to say about it. Plus, we're not babies, so why do we keep going back to wanting to be babies again? I don't know where that comes in. If you buy the snake oils that Daniel Vitus sells, good luck. Yeah. 2 Ants, he sells a bottle of powdered colostrum for $50. And elk velvet antler, $80 for 45 micrograms. I sell a bottle of antler, and our antler, a whole bottle of antler is like $85, 2 ounces. And I cringe to put that on it. But antler's very expensive, but it's a major cellular proliferator. No tea. But I use it for like spinal cord injuries. You can see why we could use that for spinal cord injuries, for any extreme depletion or decay, bone marrow, things like this. Velvet antler would be very advisable. But this guy is really, you know, I think it's $85 for 2 ounces that we sell. We're almost out of it. It's just highly expensive, and no one really appreciated antler for a while. And now I'm telling you, the National Football League is starting to understand that. A powerful food source. I find it kind of sad that people spend hundreds of thousands. I know. There's nothing magic, JD. You got it right on. Well said. There's no magic. You've got to understand the 2 fluids of the body and acid and alkaline. You're well said here. Very important to understand that for people. We have fallen into some of these things, and I don't even like the way Richard Schultz has all his things priced, and then he doesn't sell his herbs, discount them to practitioners, and that's never been me. We've always tried to keep our herbs way down in price because of the way we use them. You know, we don't use just one kidney formula. No, we go after it. So we've had to try to taper down the instead of $35, they're only $24. Now here's one from O Poniflex. Sorry if I get your names wrong. I don't mean to. Just an old country boy. Dances through the room. Sediment, sediment. You see how you guys are starting to see the sediment. Yeah. It's there. Let me tell you, whether you're getting it or not, it's there. And when it happens, you'll start feeling your symptoms going away much quicker. I'm telling you, I've been doing this a long time. And thank you. Good job, man. What is your thoughts on using far infrared sauna for detox and moving limbs? I don't. I would like to show you pictures here, but I'm not sure whether I should on this this tube. I'll have to look into it because it's definitely of a woman's breasts, but it is what happened from this infrared treatment or red ray treatment in Europe, what it did to the breast tissue. Literally shrunk a large breast down to a hard rock cone. I'm a little cautious now with things like this. I'd rather think Native American, steam saunas, Essential oil saunas, yeah. But when I'm using magnetic rays, I don't know. I don't recommend it. But it's just me. It's like 9.5 water. I don't recommend it. You can't get too alkaline. I don't care what people are saying. You can't get too alkaline. And those of you that have tried the water syndrome where you drink all this water, you see what happened to you. I've had too much experience with it. But then I guess I'm ignorant, right? That's what someone was saying that was talking about water. Yeah, it could have made your family feel good temporarily. Okay. But get more real. Go down to about 8.5 and get more fruits and veggies. Got $5,000. A doctor in California says he can turn your brown eyes blue with lasers. Indiana banana? Holy moly. That's scary. I wonder what you have to do. You know, you can burn those fibers of your eyes off, I guess. Oh, there's always someone out there. Let's see. Double raw star. Let's see. Man can live both ways. Oh, well, if you look around in nature, no one species drives a car, uses telephones, drinks filtered water, uses a computer. Oh, I know. I tell you, the studies shown it does benefit humans. There are about 4,000 studies done on it. Yeah, I appreciate all your comment there. Some might want to read that on Double Raw Star, but you can live with modern technology in balance, but you have to hang on to the mother. The mother, you have to allow the mother to embrace you. You have to allow that. You have to. You cannot live in the front of TV sets. You got to get outside and interact with the mother for a while. You can go in and occasionally catch something, but you've got to have this. You've got to interact with your body and nature and the sun and the raw foods and full spectrum lighting in the eyes. You've got to interact with all of this. And at the same time, have a home that reflects the outdoors. You have fresh plants in your home that are eating up all the radons and all the other stuff. And you try to have his house as natural as possible, bringing nature in as much as possible, eating the foods of nature, and enjoying modern technology. We're getting good. You know, I like those Volkswagen diesels where the air comes out cleaner than went in. Now that's good technology. That's German technology right there, man. I'm an old Volkswagen man. I've had Volkswagens all my life. But you know, when a motor brings in air and returns cleaner air, wow, that's where we need to be. You know, we are learning what we have to do. It's just a lot of ups and downs with growth. I can see that. Let me see here. It's Double Raw Star. I see the source I am talking about comes from Survival, owned by Daniel. Oh, I see. Search his name on YouTube. I see. I see a lot of these comments are back and forth from that. Have you had a break from this? I will do that on kinesiology and stuff. I will, guy. Hang in there. I know it. I know I'm boring some of you, but I know a lot of you are hurting out there too. So I am going to step this up and do some different things here, but I just want to get some of these more important cases dealt with here a little while so I don't have some people out there in serious trouble. This is a question by want to get some of these more important cases dealt with here a little while so I don't have some people out there in serious trouble. This is a question by Spark. Hey, Spark. One is, are there any specific things to do prior to and after surgery for optimal healing and recovery? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The raw before and the raw after. That you really want to follow detox after surgery, because that's going to repair any damage to tissue from the surgeon, and it's going to rebuild tissue that had to be removed. It's going to keep adhesions and scar tissue way down. for every reason in the world, you want to fix why you had to have the surgery. This is actually, except for trauma and sports injuries, but still, there's a lot of sports injuries and stuff like that that wouldn't happen if the tissue had been stronger. See what I'm saying? In other words, we're facing a lot of weaknesses, and of course the young kids are facing the adrenals and neurological and breathing. That's why you see a lot of them going down on the sports field right now. Too much heat, and with the myelin sheaths and the weaknesses like we have right now, bam, down you go. You stop breathing. And this is something that man has not opened up to. We have. I mean, we're on the cutting edge. I hate to say the cutting edge, but when you look at the rest of life, this channel's on the cutting edge. You guys are on the cutting edge. What do you recommend for poor circulation other than high fruit moving lymph? Well, I've got some lymphatic formulas, but all fruits and berries are king of circulation. I've got a cayenne garlic, organic cayenne garlic. Cayenne's about 25,000 heat units with butcher's broom. We use that to help dilate a little bit instead of niacin or niacinamide. Someone did ask me about that a while back. I don't know what happened to that question. But truly, when you're looking at cleaning the blood and you're separating the blood cells and you want to clean the vascular system, there's nothing any better cleaning than fruits and berries. They are the cleansers of the blood. They revitalize. The flavonoids revitalize the vascular walls. So you can't beat that sort of thing. Just the diet alone is a blood revitalizer. And then the greens and, it's revitalize the hemoglobin and hematocrit, get the adrenals going, of course, with that, and work in that way. But obviously, by far, occlusions that happen in the venous system or the vascular system is generally from the lymph problems, definitely. Calcifications, cholesterol plaquing, the loss of the integrity of the connective tissue where you have collapses or spasticity. That's all going to go right back to that lymph system again. But that's what I was saying, that by working in the lymph system, you're going to take care of the blood very well. I've got a good blood formula for revitalizing the blood, clean the liver out, clean the spleen. So if you want to revitalize the blood, clean the liver, clean the spleen, use a lot of fruits and berries. Always clean the kidneys, of course, always working that way. Get your lymphs moving. But blood's real easy stuff to deal with, real easy. For someone to die of leukemia is disgraceful and sad. Sad. I know that dairy is a huge no-no, but what is your opinion on eggs? Well, I've given a few people in my life raw, unfertilized eggs, highly depleted cases to try to build them up before we could do anything with them. So there's been rare times where I've recommended that, but as a rule, I don't recommend eggs at all. As Christopher used to say, extremely constipating. Do eggs contribute to lymph constipation? Bowel constipation for sure. Not as bad as much as dairy products though. But like I said, in a highly depleted case, or if you were in some kind of contest, a raw egg with some almond milk or something would pump you up there. Throw some hemp powder in there and some chia seeds. I mean, there's so much nutrition available, but it's more than the human body requires. So it's other problems involve utilization and digestion. The yolk, I don't care what part of the egg you use. What is your opinion on Ayurvedic or Ayurveda? I love all forms of botanical usage. I love Ayurvedic Indian work. I highly respect those guys. I love traditional Chinese medicine, except for the animal parts, which is ridiculous. No offense, but there's way too many great herbs in China. There are way too many botanicals. It's just the diet that has to be corrected as well. And then there's the focus. The focus of using botanicals to me and diet is rejuvenation, regeneration. All these aspects to being well, whether it's a sexual rejuvenation you want or whatever it is. In rejuvenating the body, you must rejuvenate the cells. The endocrine gland's a big part of those cells, controls everything. You want to rejuvenize the endocrine gland. So there's so many great herbs. We don't need body parts. I do use the glandulars, but this is in animals that are already being used for their meat, for people that are the meat eaters. But we're facing some extreme decay of the human cell. I've said this before. We're in serious trouble in genetics in a way that the allopathic community just doesn't get yet. I'm losing my hair too. This is about losing hair. Lynn Raven. Detox can take off already damaged hair, guys. Just hang in there because it'll come back. Use upper circ. Get those lymphs moving, though. That's what that's a sign of. Get your lymph system moving. Clean your lymph, clean your bowels, get your kidneys, and get all that corrected. Use upper circulation, and that new hair growth will come in. But, you know, there's got to be a cleaning before there's a rebuilding. Just remember that. Don't get freaked out with that. Got to be a cleaning before there's a rebuilding. And you can even see a rebuilding process in the cleaning stages. I've seen tissue rebuild itself even during detoxification. It's like, wow, the body's cool. I didn't know that in school, though. My degrees didn't teach me that. Metal, welcome aboard. Beautiful woman, thank you for your comments. Thank you very much. Oh, I love this one. Cat. Petite. Sanpaku. Sanpaku. That's when you see the white under the iris here. You see the white. When someone's looking at you, it looks like your eyes are rolling up a little bit in your head. The Chinese used to consider that a serious form of body depletion, because that was, the more white you see under the eyes was a sign of death and decay. So that's an old thing. I forgot about that. Once in a while I'll say, hey, you're a little Sankapu. But Sanpaku, definitely an issue where you see someone where you see the whites under their eyes and you don't have a good feeling about that person anyway. It's almost like that person is not here but here. So yeah, revitalization needs to fix that up. Really old Chinese thing of looking at the decay of the human body and the mental condition. Absolutely. Interesting you brought that up. Mandazzle. Let's see. I have watched and taken notes on. Oh, thanks, man. Studies in engineering at Montana State. Oh, sorry about that, man. You're into engineering, huh? Montana State, eh? But I love the message. Thanks for that, man. Well, become a healer. Become an engineering healer. I've always been one with the truth. I have been wearing the robe. Yeah, bro. Go for it, man. Mandaz. The joy is not only found in the pleasant high of healing. I love the way you said that. I love that you articulated this well. Does wearing a retainer at night and not allowing my teeth to move where they want suppress the body's ability to detoxify the mouth? I don't think so. I really don't. I think that's going to probably help keep them where they're going to be. You're kind of giving them the structure to stay within, but I don't think that'll stop any detoxification at all. I don't at all. I had to have my jaw widened and more as a kid. Well, I would work on my parathyroid gland, though. I tell you the truth, and start strengthening your connective tissue and your skeletal tissue. I would definitely work Mandaz on my parathyroid gland. That might be an interesting place you would want to work with. I've had many cavities, so you got a lymph system here, sucking out your calcium. Pop up your parathyroid to get your calcium utilization back and start tearing on that lymph system. Start moving that lymph system, and you'll see the body rearrange its own thing. It takes a year to get to where I'm talking about sometimes, but it's doable. It is doable. I have had many cavities throughout my life, and I'm tired of dentistry. I know. I have a love-hate with them, too. Can the decay be healed in my teeth? It can be, but it's a lot of work, man. I mean, the more dense of an area that you are, where the cells are packed in with matrix, the harder it is. There's no question to find a remedy there. But move those limbs. How much kelp and parsley should I be sucking down? A lot of kelp, probably. You don't want to overdo it, but a lot of kelp and parsley would be a good take for you. No question about that, Rex. Mandaz Rex. Work on yourself, bro, and get that, detox that body. Good man. This is Vegan Raw Mom. Yes! I started eating vegan and now raw over a year ago. I'm 90% raw with the painful chocolate craving still hanging around. Don't make it painful. You know the old saying, if you got to cheat, enjoy the cheat to the max so it'll digest halfway decent. I'm deeply fascinated by the theory of raw foods. And that's not a theory. That's a fact. Let me see. I've studied raw foods for the past year and found myself thinking about the healing powers. Absolutely, sweetheart. Oh, you're going to come to our class in April? It'll be nice to see you. Love your books on ginseng. Thanks, honey. To the point, I have a 20-month-old daughter that when she looks up, her eyes cross. So she naturally avoids it. She is 90% raw vegan, no meat, no dairy, some cooked veggies and grains. Nursed till she decided she was finished at 13 months. Interesting. I think 13 months, I'll be honest with you, 13 months and bring on the fruit. Absolutely. Any suggestions on herbs that would help strengthen the pulley that isn't working just right for her? She was born C-section, had a true double knot. Hated the section, but love my girl. Yeah. Well, you might look. I mean, it would just be a little piece of that Calma Plus, just a little piece, you know, but help to bring up that parathyroid just a little bit. Or you could actually just use the endocrine gland formula on her. I would probably use a little kidney, a little endocrine gland, just a little bit of lymphatic one on her, just to detoxify her, bring up her endocrine glands. Definitely keep her high fruit. Don't fear that at all. A lot of fresh fruit for her. You could do that. Don't forget some good coconut milk and stuff like that. Apple sauce, and you can put some herbs in that if you want. But you might also work on some brain and nerve, just a little bit of brain and nerve formula in there to strengthen the nervous system. So you're strengthening the nervous system, you're strengthening the ability to utilize calcium, which strengthens the nervous system, strengthens the skeletal system. So it's what I would do with her, you know. I felt the pressure. Have been vaccinated, yeah. Move those neurotoxins out. Lymphatic 1, a few drops. Parasite. You could use Parasite M just for a few weeks on her, easy. Kidney number 1 liquid, and I would do the endocrine gland liquid, and maybe back and forth from endocrine gland to adrenal. You know, or mix adrenal tincture with the endocrine gland tincture, get a little more punch to her adrenals. Good cellular proliferators there. Yeah. And then everybody falls into this stuff with vaccines and stuff. Don't fret over it. You just, we're learning to get strong, you know, and everyone on this channel is getting strong. Can't look back and regret what you did. You were worried, concerned about your daughter. And fear is how man's ruling each other right now. And we don't want fear, we want knowledge. So really, just detoxify her body. This could be some neurotoxicity that she's involved in, but that brain and nerve would be a good formula to help pick her up. Next question. Here's another one. I would love to detox the vaccines out of her. Oh, you have a 3-year-old. Yeah, I'd detoxify that 3-year-old too. Next question. As you know, the OBGYN community is C-section happy with the last baby that was... I think one reason is that women's pelvic areas are so much smaller now than ever before. The decay of the human body, the shrinking of the skeletal system and everything. A lot of women having a hard time coming forth the natural way, so I think that's in there as well. I was windowing, OB doc said no way would she let me try another natural birth. Well, again, that might give me a clue to your parathyroid. You know, you want to check all your symptoms to see if you have some parathyroid. It'd go a long way at looking at the kids. And just get your body healthy. See how everything works out. Female reproductive formula, strengthen the female organs, strengthen the structural system in the body by the parathyroid, you know, and get on raw and get your body healthy, and then to see where you go with that. Do the Le Boyer or, you know, the hot tub method with the nice soft music and stuff. You might be able to do wonders. The uterus is one thing. The pelvic canal, you know, strengthening all that is another too. I will be starting a 12-week. Oh, good. Yeah. Call in here if you have any questions, Lisa. Good work on yourself. Good questions. Good concernful mom. I love it. You're the mothers of the future, guys, and these are the children of the future. I love it all, and I've got to take a break from this, but here, Dr. Morris, I have a question. My husband has been suffering a lot with his health this year. He has lots of mucus and spits a very thick white bugger saliva spit all day long. His throat gets itchy. He also has pain in his throat. It seems like the lymph nodes, I take that for lymph nodes in his neck, are big. A nurse told him they were swollen, especially the one on his right side. She's right. He doesn't have health insurance, so he hasn't gotten all kinds of tests. Do you need a test for this one? But we have gone to doctors, and they said it's okay. They must have went to school and got a degree. I need to forget that, don't I? Yeah. One thing I have to add is that he used to consume a lot of milk. No kidding. Don't forget that. He's getting rid of the milk. That mucus is what milk caused in him, and yeah, he's loaded with it. The fact that your husband's getting this mucus out, thank God. If it gets too acidic, it'll lock in there, or too many antibiotics, it'll lock in there, and that's what you don't want. All that mucus you see coming out, guess where it's coming from? That's his lymph system, and his body's at least cleaning himself. Stop the milk and dairy products, or you're going to have in and out the rest of your life. But you know, stuff generally just doesn't stay the same. I thought that was a funny one, actually. Fluttering 13. I'm telling you, I had to laugh at this one. He would consume about 1 to 2 gallons a week. Now, I think I showed you the eyes of a dairy farmer, and they're bad. Yeah, so really, the lymph system, he's got a lot of mucus to get out of it. You want to see it coming out his urine, out his stools, out his mouth, out his nose. Yep, needs a good cleaning. This guy is going to clean up good because he's already getting it. He's got so much his body's getting rid of. Get out of here. I like that. That's good. What do you think we could do to help this situation? What do you think might be wrong with him? Nothing wrong with him. He's just saturated with mucus. He's drank too much milk. You're not even supposed to drink milk after you're weaned. And this guy sucked it down like it was candy all his life. Unfortunately, my friend, she's probably going to show you this, but you're full of it. You've got to get this out of you. These are tumors. This is masses. This is the stuff that all man's problems come from. Get this mucus out of you. You'll taste better, smell better, hear better, think better, and your body will move better. Get that out of you. He's been suffering from anxiety. That's the adrenals. And, of course, who controls the lymph system? The adrenals on top of the kidneys. Go forth, my fluttering 13, and conquer the mucus problem. I have got to take a break here and finish these if more people show up. You know, the nice thing about you guys is that when you call in here, I don't have to spend the whole 2 hours with you. So what I do is I cut down your fee and then I start recording so I can catch up. There will be a point I'll catch up. Then we'll just do a short one on muscle testing, just a quick one to show you what you can do there. And then I'd like to do one a little more on the iris. I'll do you, Indiana Banana. I've not forgotten that. And we'll do some eye work here more. And if I can incorporate more learning here, I do. I like this channel to be an online school, if you like it. You know, I don't know what to say, but thank you so much. I love you all, and you all have a great day. Your comments are warming. Your hearts, I feel your hearts. I feel your spirituality. We're a great team. Hang in there, and thanks for your support and love. I'm humbled considerably. Love you. Bye-bye.